All right, people, another episode of The Jeff Show. I don't know. I got to come up with a new name. Paint the Trump. I'd like to get monetized again. I'd like to keep doing these podcasts, I think. And then if I get monetized, I don't know if I can with Paint the Trump as my name. But
Trump's just such a controversial person.
Because they made him. They lied
us.
about him. They lie about him.
Yeah.
That's the only reason he's controversial, I think. But so you're John. I'm Jeff. Welcome. I don't pass out any last names because can't trust lefties. They might come looking
them.
for you.
Hey, everybody at home.
Yeah.
All the Patriots at home watching.
Yeah. You people that have been watching my videos for a while, they'd recognize you from being at the Flagways.
Probably so.
Especially out there in Orange City.
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
You always had your big red Trump hat on.
Yep. Wearing my red Make America Great Again hat.
Yeah. You always flew this flag that had a lion on it, didn't you?
Right. That's kind of a Christian thing.
Oh, the lion?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
A lot of people associate the lion with the Christian faith.
They do.
So a lot of you, what's just kind of cool about MAGA is we've got such a diverse group of people. We've got all the Christians on our side, and we've got a lot of atheists and, like yourself, agnostic people just kind of not there. But the Christians knew right away, even though I'm kind of a big mouth and foul mouth at times, they kind of knew where I stood just because I was waving that flag.
Yeah, you're kind of like me in a lot of ways like that.
And in a lot of ways,
you're not afraid of shit. You'll speak your mind. You know what I mean?
I'm definitely not afraid of human beings anymore.
Yeah. Cat coming through the door.
Yeah, see his paws.
Yeah, I have 2 kittens, and they're trying to get in underneath the door. Don't just disregard them because if they make noise over there, you can't hear it on the mic.
Okay.
So, anyways,
yeah, but to everybody that came out and waved flags with us, hello, folks. Haven't seen anybody since the election.
Yeah.
First time I'm seeing Jeff. We texted a couple times. Mm-hmm. But
I saw you on one of Adam Francisco's videos maybe a couple months ago, maybe not quite that long ago.
Yeah.
You were down there with Caitlin Bennett. She had gotten kicked out of the farmer's market, and then I don't know if she went through her lawyer or something and was invited to go. Oh, you can speak. You can come here and make videos if you want.
Yeah.
They were about to get sued from her. So you guys all showed up to support her.
Exactly. Yeah. Once you stopped doing the flag waves, I pretty much took off the American First shirt and the red hat and just watched videos. I mean, we won the election and it was time for a break.
Yeah.
And I still kind of followed Adam and
Adam Francisco.
Francisco.
Yeah.
And
he stays busy.
And he copies into a lot of Caitlin's videos, and I had seen through his videos that Caitlin was getting harassed in the Lakeland Farmers Market, and then a few weeks later, the Winter Garden Farmers Market. So I'm just kind of out of anger. I put the red hat back on just to show some support and back up the Patriots.
Yeah, Caitlin Bennett and Adam and anybody, they are allowed to go out in public and interact with the public with their cameras and their microphones. Whether you like it or not, whether wearing a Trump shirt or not, you can't kick them out, right? Which is what they told Caitlin. You're kicked out of here. You can't come here.
And the thing is crazy. It's just her and her husband, I think, filming, and every now and then a bodyguard, apparently. But it's just and I never knew that the lefties kind of dominated the whole farmers market industry, if there is such a thing. I didn't realize that.
Well, they usually dominate wherever there's a big city. So Winter Garden isn't really a big city, but it's connected to Orlando.
It's become a big city.
Well, it's connected, basically, it's just a suburb of Orlando.
Yeah.
So, yeah, lefties.
And it really shocked me because I hadn't been to Winter Garden in forever. And once I went down there, it's a cool little city. Yeah. But seeing people wearing like L.A. Dodger uniforms and L.A. hats, that's just something, I've lived in Florida since I was 15. You don't see anybody from California in Florida.
They probably moved here.
Until recently, since COVID, it seems like.
Yeah, they say 1,000 people or 1,200 people a day move to Florida, which ain't really that much. I mean, Florida's huge.
There's always been a big migration of people, but look, the weather in California is amazing. If that's where I'm from, I would have no desire to come to the humidity of Florida. But we've had a big influx of folks coming here, and the fact that they're trying to turn our state blue makes me sick.
Good luck.
Go back.
Now we have 1 million more registered Republicans than we do Democrats for the first time ever since COVID. All right. You can go back all the way to the beginning of the history of Florida, and it's always been, there's never been more Republicans than Democrats ever.
Yeah, the tide has turned.
Yeah.
And but what's amazing, when the No Kings protest broke out, I kind of went to harass the protesters out in the city that I live in now. And it's amazing because most of those Democrats that are angry at the world and hate MAGA are folks that have just moved to Florida over the past few years. Mm-hmm. And,
they probably come from a blue state.
Florida was the arch enemy of Democrats during COVID because
they still hate Florida.
They still hate Florida, but it's amazing how they all want to retire with their government pension.
We don't have any state
and come
taxes.
to our state.
Yeah. Yeah, and DeSantis is talking about somehow getting rid of property taxes.
Which would be fantastic.
It'd be the only state in the union that has no property taxes. Everybody's going to want to move here if that happens.
Oh, no doubt about it. No doubt about it. You know, DeSantis was talking about letting veterans have no property tax a while back, and I was hoping that would come through because I own my property.
My stepdad, he's a wounded vet, or disabled vet, I'm sorry.
Oh, I didn't know that.
And disabled vets in Florida don't have to pay property taxes. Did you know that?
Yes, I did know that.
Which I'm going to, I don't think he's going to see this video, but I think he was goofing around. And he was on the roof of some building drinking and doing something stupid. And he fell off and hurt his back. And then now, fast forward 55 years and he doesn't have to pay property taxes.
You know, it's
that's the story. But
technically, I could if I went through and did paperwork, I could probably have a disability. I could probably be getting paid. But that's just not who I am. I don't, I'm not that way. But the way the VA's been screwing with me forever, it's kind of, makes me think that I should file for some type of disability just to get something back from them.
Yeah, my stepdad at the VA, he gets weighted on hand and foot over there. If he's got
they treat me like shit.
He goes down there once a week just to get Nicorette gum. He's hooked on it, and they give it to him for free. He's had his knee done, his back done, all kinds of other stuff, and he doesn't pay for anything. I think it's because he's got that wounded veteran status, I guess. Yeah. Maybe that's why.
That changes everything with the VA. Oh. The VA actually, and I didn't realize this until I was getting screwed with in some different ways, but they categorize the veterans. It's not all veterans are the same. They categorize you, I guess. They've got 5 different categories of veterans. It's something I had never heard of before. And then I was getting screwed with here and there for different things, different reasons probably.
How long were you in the military?
I was in the military for about 9 years.
Huh.
One thing most people don't realize is whenever you join the military, it's an 8-year gig. They get you for 8 years.
Oh, it's not 4 years.
Well, there's whatever you serve in plus an extra 4 years or whatever inactive time where they can call you back. And so once you exceed that 8-year period, you can actually quit whenever you want. You can just walk out and quit.
The military would prefer you stayed, though, right?
Well, now I'm sure they would, and during the Biden era and everything else, I'm sure they would because they were having a hard time recruiting people.
Yeah.
And, I don't think a lot of people realize, like, I was in the Marine Corps. So, I mean, if we had lefties in there, it's a small group. Most Marines are patriotic. Same thing with soldiers in the Army.
Isn't that kind of why, part of the reason why people want an education, they can go into the military to get educated. If you got no prospects, go into the military, right? They'll teach you a trade, or maybe you can get your foot in doing something, some kind of a career.
A lot of people going for the GI Bill.
Yeah, if you got nothing going for you, man, that's a good place for people.
It was for me. It was more of a patriotic thing. Of course,
some people are doing the patriotic thing.
I went in the '80s, so I went in shortly after the Marines got blown up in Beirut, and it was probably a couple of years after that happened that I joined up. But for me, see what a lot of, to kind of, I got put out of the house when I was 18. Hi, Mom. You're probably watching this. And so I was living on my own. 18 years old. I worked at a
I had the same story.
I worked at a gas. Okay, so I worked 50, 60 hours a week on multiple jobs just to live in an efficiency apartment, not making any money. And I applied for a Pell Grant so I could go to college. And I literally, I still got the paperwork somewhere at home. They rejected me basically because I'm white. I didn't have it. This was 85, 86. And basically because they give you points based on your race, gender.
I didn't realize that was going on back then.
Affirmative action. That's why when I hear racism and stuff like that now, I just got to laugh at it.
Yeah, there's racism, but it's against white people, not black people.
My entire life, I'm 59. My entire life, the only people discriminated against are white men. And that's why I saved the paperwork, because living on my own, making almost no money. Everybody else was able to get a Pell Grant. Give me my Pell Grant.
Yeah.
I'm in the definite in the what do you call it, low income category, but I didn't get enough points to qualify for a Pell Grant.
Yeah, I went to a 2-year technical school for photography, and for some reason I wanted to do that, and I couldn't get any of that stuff either because my parents made too much. My real dad at the time, he worked at John Deere's, made good money, add on top of the money my mom, but they weren't giving me any money. It wasn't, so I was turned down because my parents made too much, so I couldn't get any student loans or anything like that. Eventually I did. I forget how, but they harassed me because my parents made too much, but they weren't giving me any of it. They weren't helping me.
After I completed my first 4-year enlistment, I actually re-upped, and I signed up for another 6 years. And because I did that, plus being a veteran at that point in time, I had enough points I started going to college. I was going, I was getting the military assistance to go to college. I was in the reserves, and then I qualified for a Pell Grant at that point in time. So just, it's a crazy world we live in, man. And when I hear the younger kids now complain about racism, I'm like, what are you talking about, dude?
Well, they're so used to the teachers telling them that, and their parents telling them that,
and everybody wants to blame somebody else for their problems. They want to, they want to have.
They're trained to be victims, even though they're not. You know what I mean? White people can't complain about anything. We're the only race that can't complain about nothing.
Well, and now over the past few years, I'm the problem. I'm the reason why everybody else has issues and a hard life, and because I'm a white man.
Not your fault.
So
I saw somebody talking about this, and it kind of made sense. They said, how come white men are being demonized? Think about it. If only black people voted, Democrats would be in power. If only Asian people voted, only the Democrats would be in power. If only, think of any ethnicity, even if only white women voted, Democrats would be in power. If only white men voted, Republicans are in power. If only white people voted, the males outmaneuver because there are women that vote Republican. Then if you can't just let white people vote, Republicans stay in power. So maybe that's why they demonize white men so much. I don't know.
I got a different view on things now. I mean, I would agree completely with that 5 years ago with what you just said. The way I kind of look at things now, and I said it a lot when you were interviewing people during your flag waves, we're at a point where it's good versus evil. And what I mean by that is, another way to look at it is, I see the people separating now, from a Christian perspective, and anybody at home who's a Christian who's watching this, hit something in the comments so you can let Jeff know. But I kind of look at it as the people that follow God's natural law, if you want to call it that, and those who kind of reject God's natural law. To kind of expand upon that, I look at it as like people like us, we don't believe in killing somebody because they have a different point of view, but the other side does.
They do now. It didn't seem like they didn't. They weren't always that way. They definitely are now.
And it's getting worse. Look at this random junk that's going on. You can't explain it. It doesn't make any sense. Yeah. And the way I see it, and I believe I'm accurate, is it's not that they hate us. It's not that they hate white people. It's they hate our God. They hate Christians. They're making it clear that they hate Christians. They're marching in the streets in New York City right now because they hate Jews. Mm-hmm. And you younger people that are watching this, you're not going to understand this, but Jeff and I can attest to it. If somebody said 10 years ago that this many people would be just hate Jews.
It's crazy.
And it's a political, it's not just people in general, it's a political issue.
It's not even, top of that. But it's not, it's our side too. I think our side now demonizes Jews just as much as the left side does.
Right? And it makes no sense, right?
Right.
Because we lived in a world where this did not exist. Yeah. And when we were going to school and being educated, we were taught Hitler's bad. Mm-hmm. But the thing that's amazing is that the younger people now, they're pro-Palestine, anti-Jew, and then they call people like me a Nazi. Do we lose it?
Yeah, my stupid...
Cut out.
My camera just cut out on me. You go ahead, keep talking. I'm going to mess with my camera and get it. I'm going to have to get a new camera.
But that's the incredible part about it. I think, it's the fact that the people that are screaming anti-Israel stuff in the streets call the other side the Nazis, when the Nazis were known for the people trying to exterminate the Jews.
Right.
It's just it's bizarro world. It's like opposite world going on. And I see it not as a Republican Democrat issue, but more of a good versus evil. It's just the Bible talks about it. Mm-hmm. It talks about the wheat and the chaff, that we're all together. And then, when you get to a point, you can tell that the chaff is just basically a weed that doesn't contribute, and it gets separated. And I think that's what we're going through as a people. I think everybody's got to take a side.
Yeah.
You're going to take one side or the other.
Yeah.
And Charlie Kirk, I don't think he got killed because he was MAGA. I think he got killed because he was a Christian.
I think that added to the fuel. You know what I mean?
And look at how...
I'm trying to fix my camera while you're talking.
Are we still rolling? Are we still...
Yeah. Yeah, we're still rolling, but I'm got a dick with my camera now, which is stupid, but sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's what's going on. And if you look at the reactions of the people that are happy that Charlie Kirk got assassinated, it is demonic. I mean, it's just not natural. It's not something that, our society would experience just 10, 15 years ago. It just wouldn't have been a possibility that so many people would have behaved the way that they're doing now.
Yeah, the lefties are jumping up and down for joy, celebrating Charlie Kirk. They hated Charlie Kirk, which is so shocking to me. Like, I didn't realize they hated him that much. I understand that they hate Trump because they're stupid and they've been brainwashed. You know what I mean? They think Trump's Hitler because the stupid media says it and the dumb Democrats say it, so they believe it. Name one thing that makes him like Hitler. Name one thing. Nothing. But I didn't know they hated Charlie. It seemed that they hate Charlie Kirk as much as they did Trump. And I think the added fuel to their hatred is that he's religious. He doesn't only espouse the Republican talking points that he believes in, all that stuff. It's the religion on top of that. You know what I mean?
To me, it's the main. It's the only thing that could drive people to that level of hatred. Mm-hmm. But it also explains why our side doesn't behave that way. We've got when you think of Christians, do you think of them as being Democrats at all?
No, there's a
you have some people claiming to be a Christian Democrat, but then the next second it's like screw the Jews.
Yeah, I mean, I got Democrats in my neighborhood. I got them right to the right of me. I got two of them over here, one guy over here, and I guarantee you, well, maybe one of these guys over here, this guy over here, I'm not going to say his name, obviously. He might have been, Charlie Kirk. But the rest of them, these guys over here and that guy straight ahead, and And there's another one on this side. There's no way. I know them pretty good. They wouldn't be celebrating that, and they're Democrats. So, they're not. I guess they're not lefties.
Think about it. If somebody did something to Ilhan Omar, maybe your knee-jerk reaction, your internal thoughts might tell you something, but I don't think either one of us would be going out dancing on her grave.
Well, I think if Ilhan Omar was assassinated the way Charlie Kirk was, I think you'd have some people on our side thinking, "Yeah, that's great."
You would definitely have people on our side, but they wouldn't be.
They wouldn't be going to a memorial and stomping on it and stuff like that.
Right.
Some people did murals of Charlie Kirk. They've already been vandalized. Like, we wouldn't do that. They always want to bring up the fact that Pelosi's husband, that guy that attacked him, hit him with the hammer and shit. And even when I talk about it, I giggle when I say it because I don't feel bad for the guy. I hate those people. But he wasn't assassinated. It's not really the same thing.
And the funny thing is, I feel like we were lied to about the whole thing anyway. I mean, he opens the door with a glass of wine and
I think it was his gay lover. I think that's what it was.
Lover's quarrel went bad or something.
Dude.
But either way, we know we didn't get the full truth on
No.
it. It was like...
Yeah. But come on, man. If Pelosi was assassinated in the same style that Charlie Kirk was, we would have people on our side laughing and celebrating it.
Yeah.
Again, we wouldn't go desecrate a Pelosi mural, or if they were having a vigil for her, we wouldn't go stomping through there and kicking everything over. But our side would be celebrating it, I think. Don't you?
There would be some. But you would also see a lot of people on our side condemning that.
Yes.
And saying, no, you got to stop.
Right. Where you don't have anybody on the left condemning it. No.
Nobody's doing that on the left right now. I saw something where it looks like some of maybe the more moderate Democrats are having a little bit of compassion, or at least looking like they're being a little bit offended by people like Ilhan Omar and some of the stuff they're saying. But it's just not. It's not commonplace.
No.
I mean, Jimmy, I believe in freedom of speech. I could care less what Jimmy Kimmel says, right? But he's convinced that MAGA people assassinated Charlie Kirk. They're convinced that a MAGA person tried to assassinate Trump in Pennsylvania. It's just so weird how
they also tried to say that it was a MAGA guy that killed that senator lady in Minnesota. That the guy who actually did the killing said Tim Walz told him to do it.
But you know how they memory hold that whole
He had
thing?
no Kings posters in his car.
And I heard when that first happened, okay, I haven't heard hardly anything since it happened.
No,
but
right? Isn't that weird?
Yeah, well, there's a reason. They'd be beating it to death. It was truly a right-wing guy that did that. They'd be beating it to death. Yeah. But I had heard something that they had done a vote. What do I know about Minnesota politics? Nothing. But I had heard that it's a very slim margin in favor of the Democrats. They had just voted on something, and that lady...
Yes, she voted to take away the benefits, to no more free health care for illegals. And that got that guy really bent out of shape, that she sided with the Republicans. And that was, I think, the excuse he gave.
And I was hearing something that guy had some type of ties to intelligence agencies.
They want these kind of conspiracy theories floating around.
It's because we never get the whole truth.
No. You're never going to know anything. That's the end of it, right? Well, isn't he going to have to go to trial eventually for this shit?
You would think. But, I mean, is that going to be the next time we actually get any information about it?
I don't know.
I mean, look at the assassination attempt in Pennsylvania. It just kind of went away. The whole thing with the guy in Palm Beach when he tried to get Trump at the golf course.
Yeah.
We didn't hear anything until the trial ended. He tries to stab himself. But basically there's no news information coming out about this guy or anything. It just kind of gets memory hold.
Yeah. So you wanted to talk about war coming in, some kind of an incoming war thing going on where Pete Hegseth called all the generals to the Pentagon, right?
Yeah. I mean, guys,
we don't know anything, do we?
We don't really know anything yet.
Is it a drill? Maybe.
never in the history of our country has anything like this happened. We're supposed to have secure communications with our, within our military where this isn't necessary. You can basically have calm with a general over on the other side of the world
Yeah.
that you can trust is secure. But
So that's why you call them all in, so you don't have to communicate
there's something going on,
through
dude.
satellite communication or texting or
Something big is brewing.
yeah. So the other day, they had like 4 Russian jets go into the just about right at the edge of Alaskan airspace, and we had to send up some jets to intercept them or whatever.
There's been some drone incursions.
Yeah, I
in some
don't
of our
know. Is
allied
it
countries.
something going on there? Or Trump's coming down hard on Russia. He's really putting pressure on the European people or the NATO people to he's telling Trump was just at the UN. We'll talk about that in a second, but he was telling them, we're trying to bring Russia to its knees. Stop buying their oil. You guys want to help Ukraine, but you're not helping them when you buy Russian oil. Stop buying their oil.
Yeah.
So
It
maybe it has something to do with Russia. If Russia and China and who else hates us? A lot of countries hate us. But Iran, yeah.
I mean-
and North Korea, and they all get together, dude. We could be screwed.
Well, my theory,
They think we can't even beat China in a war. Some people.
well, China, just all the people in China. My God, it's, I have a theory, and it's if our enemy is ever going to make a move in any way, either be it on Taiwan, whatever, now is the time that they need to do it.
Now, the time to do it would have been when Biden was in there.
Yes.
Because he was an imbecile.
Yes. And in a way, they started, who would have thought that Trump was going to. It's the same thing as when Hillary was going against Trump. Nobody thought Trump had a chance. So after all the stuff that they were doing to Trump while Biden was in there, they probably didn't think he had a prayer of coming back.
Well, Biden was such a puss. He even said when Russia was on the border of Ukraine, he said, if there's a minor incursion, we'll have to see. Like, it was no big deal if they went in there and did, you know what I mean? Trump wouldn't put up with that.
The open borders told me all I needed to know.
Yeah.
He's an enemy. That's a move of an enemy, not even protecting our borders.
Yeah.
And when
Biden.
Biden.
And it wasn't even Biden. He's not making these decisions. He's
No,
just,
he
Biden
was
was
a
just,
puppet.
yeah,
He
he
was a
wasn't
puppet.
even, he wasn't doing anything
You look back at the
decision making.
You look back at when the Democrats were trying to pick their candidate for that election. Biden was the last guy in. They already had 15 other people. They were trying to pull him in.
Yeah, Biden was in 5th place when everybody dropped out all at the same time and endorsed him. Weird, right?
And they just needed, because his name was recognized by their side. And let's face it, the average Democrat just is not a politically astute person. I mean, for them to take the side that they are on so many issues now, it's
Democrat will always vote for a Democrat. I guess that's why you're a Democrat. Like, I'm a Republican, so I'm never going to vote for a Democrat no matter what. We could have the dumbest Republican up there, I guess, and I'm not going to vote for a Democrat.
no.
So, I mean,
Not
I kind
anymore.
of see. Don't you think that most Democrats, when they realized Biden was going to be the nominee, that they kind of went, "Shit, kidding me, man."
I don't know. It seemed
You
like
think they were all
really
right with
wanted
it?
him. I think so, dude, because everybody else dropped out immediately.
I know, but don't you think the average Democrat was thinking, "What are you doing?"
Well, they didn't have anybody else.
They don't have anybody now,
They don't.
do they?
No. And I never really thought of Charlie Kirk as being a future president.
Oh yeah,
But now
yeah.
I'm thinking, yeah, because
He didn't have that in his sights.
he
Like
wasn't
the
old,
day
he's not
that
old enough.
No,
he has
he's
to be 36, I think.
you got to be 35. He was 31.
Yeah.
He probably wasn't even thinking about it. But at some point, he was destined to be a president, dude.
No doubt about it.
There's no,
And the way I look at, see, I haven't really become a hardcore Christian until recently, and that's a whole different story. But my experience, I've done some work with the government outside the military, and as a contractor in IT, not in military or politics. But my experience with government is you don't have any Christians in our government.
You know, think
Even
so?
though-
Like Mike Johnson.
All right, so
I got to be honest with you. Whenever I see a politician go on and on about God stuff, I'm not religious, so that's why I just roll my eyes and I'm just like, shut up, man. I don't want to hear this
there's
shit.
a
You know,
it's almost impossible to be a strong believer until you're reborn. And I don't want to go into that because I know a lot of your audience isn't into that or anything else. But
oh man, I get comments.
but your wife,
No, yeah. If I mean, me and my wife touched on it a little bit, the religion and stuff, and yeah, I got a lot of positive comments. There's a lot of, I think a lot of the MAGA base is very religious, but there's a big chunk of us that aren't.
Well, most
You think
aren't.
most aren't?
Most aren't certain that God exists. I'm without a doubt certain, absolute. And the reason,
Dude, I'm not like anti-God or anything. I will, like like when my mom was sick with cancer, I prayed, dude. I prayed, just in case. I mean, anything, right? So
the way that
I do this all the time.
the way that I explain it now is, you got to look at it like
I want there to be a God.
Our free will is being tested. Which side are you going to choose? You're going to have to choose one side. There's only one creator. There's only one true God. Do I believe there's other gods like the people in the old world? Well, yes, because I do believe there are aliens. There's supernatural beings. If I would have said this 10 years ago, everybody's like, no, that's crazy talk. But our government themselves have admitted it now.
Yeah, I don't believe any of that shit either.
You don't believe in the UFOs or
No.
Well, do you remember when they tried to convince everybody that we didn't have an Area 51?
Yeah, that's probably because they were hiding something there and they didn't want, people getting nosy about it.
I think like
I don't know what, maybe
nuke
nuclear
program
stuff, or there was something. I don't think it was aliens.
But even now, with the stuff you're seeing with the what do they call them? UAPs now?
Yeah, I don't believe any of that stuff.
You don't believe any of it?
No.
Do you think it's
I
just...
think it's all just distraction, full of shit stuff, yeah.
Really?
No. Not personally, I don't believe any of it. I think there's aliens out there. I think they're so far away we can never, ever contact each other. The Milky Way galaxy itself is 100,000 light years across. That means if you're going at the speed of light, it'll take you 100,000 years to get there. That's going 165,000 miles a second. Or some crazy amount of... The nearest star is 4 light years away. Think about 4 light years doesn't sound like much, but it's trillions and trillions and trillions of... it's trillions of miles away. Like, it's never... We'll never be able to get to the closest star. So...
Kind of on a lighter note, have you ever heard of the James Webb Telescope,
Yeah.
I think? It's the new thing. And
Yeah,
actually, they rolled it out when shortly after Biden took office.
Yeah, it took them like 10 years or
Dude, they showed
20
up-
years to get it up there.
I remember for some reason I got on TV when they were doing the news conference about that James Webb Telescope. Here's our first picture coming in. And I was watching, and they were waiting for Biden to show up. And waiting. And Bill Nelson, our former senator from Florida, was there. And I think he was in charge of NASA at the time. And I want to say Harris was there, but all these people are waiting for Biden to show up. I'm like, look, you're live on television right now. Why isn't Biden just walking in? And it was to release the first photograph. And they released this picture, and all I could think of is, dude, that looks exactly like some artwork I saw at Venice Beach that some dude spray painted on and was selling his artwork on Venice Beach 15 years before that, because it was just so. It looked like something you'd buy at a flea market or something else. This picture.
Yeah, they can use that telescope to find like planets that could be support life and stuff like that.
See, and I just saw that. And I just felt like we're being sold some BS. I just thought it was ridiculous. And I'm still and the reason why I'm kind of reinforced with that now is we're trying to get to the moon, but they did that when I was like 2 years, when I was like, I was just about born, and it was the big news back in the 60s.
You think we went to the moon?
Yeah, not only that, but you know, well, I believe we went to the moon.
I don't know. Any of the footage I see looks fake as shit.
It's funny because that's one of those things. If somebody tells you no, I don't think so, they immediately think you're nuts because there's so much, astronauts and so many missions. But the thing that's confusing is, how did they lose the data? The government is telling us now that they've lost the data.
Yeah, I think they're full of shit. Maybe.
But
I spent my whole life thinking we landed on the moon.
Of course we did.
But
this and that.
The more you think about it, and the more footage you look at,
why can't we
it
get
looks
there
so
now?
fake. It doesn't even. It looks like maybe it was filmed on a set somewhere. If you're gonna if you and the Russians are in a race to get to the moon, and you can't get there, just fake it, and it made Russia stop trying to get there.
And Russia was ahead of us on everything else space related.
And if we could do it way back then, how come we don't do it now? Right? Maybe because apparently there's like this Van Buren asteroid or radiation belt that you have to go through to get there. And a lot of people are saying that humans can't even get past that without dying.
I don't know.
All
I know is I was a hardcore patriot. Well, I still am to some degree, but now I look back at all the bullshit that they've lied to us about.
Yeah,
and I have to admit, I'm not just 100% Trump on every. I'm not 100% behind Trump on everything he says. Just step in the line, because the Kennedy files. We're releasing the Kennedy files.
They didn't release shit, did they?
Dude, we didn't get anything definitive. And then it's like, well, wait a minute. This happened I don't think I was born yet when he got assassinated. He got assassinated in 1963. I wasn't even around yet. But my entire life, it's like, don't worry, conspiracy theory this, conspiracy theory that. Now we've released everything that our intelligence agencies have, but not of anything that they released did they say, well, this is what we briefed this president on. This was at the conclusion of our intelligence bureau, of what actually happened. There was none of that. It was just like, oh, here's the raw data. Here's the investigation, the reports that we have filed. So it makes me think, well, you never briefed Reagan. You never briefed any of the presidents since that point in time on what you think, our CIA, our FBI. You never came to an opinion about what happened that day. Mm-hmm. And so we're just we just have information being withheld from us.
Yeah, our government will never ever be honest with us about anything for some reason.
And I think that's what's going on with the Epstein files as well. Yeah. They don't want.
Well, apparently, I thought it was like Obama appointed judges that won't let it get released. Did you hear Did you see the James O'Keefe undercover thing?
I saw something.
He was talking to somebody who was big up in the FBI or the CIA or something, and this cute girl who had this mic on her and camera and everything got him to say to admit that none of the stuff that we have implicates Trump at all, but Clinton was on that airplane when there were some rapes going on. He said, "Did you hear that?"
I heard part of it, but dude,
Bill Clinton went on that plane 26 times. It's documented. All these lefties keep trying to pin Epstein on Trump, but it's also my understanding that if it wasn't for Trump, they wouldn't have even had an Epstein investigation at all. Trump's the one that got a hold of him and said, "This guy's a problem."
I'm the type of person, I want to know the truth no matter how bad it is.
Yeah.
No matter how bad, just tell me the truth. Stop lying.
Yeah, but the problem is when Biden was in there, they probably stuffed that Epstein file full of all kinds of fake shit. Because that's what they do.
Okay,
and I think Trump knows that. But
so Kash Patel finds a burn bag? Now,
that's not been burned? That's weird. Yeah. I'm not impressed.
It's just like nobody's ever going to tell us the truth. And it doesn't matter who gets put in charge. The government thinks that they got to be careful about what they release to the average person because we can't handle the truth.
Yeah.
And just let me know what's going on so we can correct things and move on. Yeah, we make mistakes. Yeah, we do evil stuff. We've done evil stuff in the past, but let's just be honest about it so we can follow our Constitution the way that the way this country was developed to be.
Yeah.
And
they keep us in the dark so that they can just keep doing what they want to do.
exactly.
And that's what
To control information.
Yeah. So let's talk about this. Another sniper attack at an ICE facility by a young man that appears to be a raging lefty, brainwashed, obviously lunatic, right?
What's going on, man?
Yeah.
Evil's rising.
So he used a high-powered rifle. Looked like the same kind of bullets, man. Looked like a 30-06. It looked like it. I don't know. And he wrote on there anti-ice on the bullets. And
look at this kid. I mean,
he actually shot at the ICE guys, ICE agents, missed them, or thought they were in the van. He winds up killing a couple of these illegal immigrants that were locked up, handcuffed in the vans. I guess he was just shooting at the vans.
I don't know, man. I can't. And then
Can you count how many times
he kills himself?
Yeah, he kills himself.
So
he was obviously planning on killing himself. And before I kill myself, let me, like
Make a statement
some
on the way
people
out.
do. I'm not gonna just go out alone. Let me make a statement or whatever. Yeah.
I was talking to a couple guys the other day, and it was like, do you realize when I moved to Florida here, right down the road, when I was 15 years old, and I went to Lake Brantley High School. A lot of people watching your podcast will probably know what I'm talking about. And it was 1981, and students, 16-year-old students, would drive their pickup trucks to school with shotgun racks in the back windows of their pickup trucks, 2 or 3 rifles. This was 1981 right here, right here. And there were no school shootings. When we got in fights, there would rarely be weapons.
Knives
fight.
or something like that.
You'd fight.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, there's something different going on now.
it's nuts, man.
So
And that shooter in Dallas, his mom apparently was a lefty that was just blaming in a Facebook post or something 2 years ago, basically bad-mouthing Governor Abbott and Senator Cruz.
yeah, this kid here, he I think his voting record was he only voted in the last primary.
I saw he lived in like almost $1 million home.
Did he really?
They showed his house, I guess where his family lived, $870,000 home.
Wow. So I can't even rattle off in the last month how many crazy lefties have gone on these shooting sprees. There's been so many.
They'd overheat.
Yeah, dude, I don't know what my problem is. It's hot.
Are we still rolling, or is it?
Yeah. Yeah, this is going to be very aggravating. I'm going to have to get a new camera, dude. So
There's the craziness that's going on in the world. It really is unexplainable. I mean, I just think evil is rising, and that's what it is. And that goes back to my whole thing. I think we're just separating. The people are separating, and you're gonna have to choose one side or the other.
yeah. So there's definitely going to be more sniper attacks by lefties. This isn't the end of it.
I just hope our side doesn't start escalating it even more. Even if it continues with these weird attacks on law enforcement or right-wing people, I just hope our side doesn't start doing the same thing.
Well, the left keeps talking about right-wing violence, but can you name any right-wing violence? They'll tell you January 6th, but that's not that. I mean, what else is there? What else do they have?
Okay, So if January 6th was right-wing violence, and we now know that there were 250 FBI employees and or FBI contractors with that group, didn't those FBI employees commit treason that day? Isn't that treason?
Yeah. Sorry. My camera keeps screwing up on me, guys. Sorry.
Can you switch over to one of these other guys?
I don't really have it set up. Dude, if I turn that camera around to face me, you just have my forehead in there. I'm just going to try to get through it, man, and then get a new camera. So, did you hear the latest? I heard on PBD podcast. They were talking about it. There weren't 26 FBI agents January 6th at the Capitol. There were over 300 plain-clothes FBI guys.
Yeah.
They were talking about it today.
I remember
What a setup.
I was with my fiance at the time, sitting in my living room, watching all the different channels coverage of January 6th, all of which have disappeared, and I never saw again after that day. And come on, when people get bashed and provoked, they respond a little bit. But then again, too, it wasn't all the flag waves that you had done leading up to that point in time, all the patriots that come out with us and join the flag waves, that wasn't the same type of people that were getting confrontational with the police. It wasn't the same. It just wasn't your typical Trump supporter. Then when you talk to people that were there, they're like, no, it was a great, there were 1 million people on the National Mall, and it was a great, right side rally.
Yeah, Democrats of that Congresswoman Hagerman, I think is her name. She made a comment that Democrats have weaponized crazy people, and that's what it is, dude. Aren't there any crazy people that are on the right? I guess not. If you're crazy, you automatically flow to the left, I guess.
If we do have instances of right-wing crazy, that's when I immediately think about we're being, what do they call it, black flag? What's the term?
Black-pilled?
Excuse me. Not black-pilled, but false flag. It's a false flag event. So, for example, when the lady got shot January 6th, I forget her name, the Air Force.
Ashley Babbitt.
When I watched that, okay, I think I may have been watching live when it happened, and I never saw, probably CNN, I forget what channel it was on. I was going CNN, MSNBC, Fox. I was going back and forth on all these channels. What happened is they were at this partition that was barricaded with chairs, and they had blocked off this wing, I guess, while they were escorting out Congress people. And the cops were lined up in front of the chairs and whatever, the barricade, whatever it was. They were lined up in front of it. As soon as the cops began walking away toward whatever, they were just leaving the view, walking away. As soon as they did, she jumped up to breach through a window that had been smashed out.
Yeah, which I don't understand what she was thinking.
Dude, but the cops were the first, they were there.
Yeah.
They were right there.
They could have just grabbed her and threw cuffs on her or
They
something.
were responding. They were responding to
It's like that black dude that shot her panicked. Like he didn't know what to do. He got no training. This is the same guy that went to the bathroom at the Capitol. He got written up for
leaving his weapon.
He took a shit, took his weapon off, and then wiped his ass and left without his gun. And somebody came in and found his gun just laying there.
All the cops standing with
Diversity hire, guys. And you surprised that a diversity hire shot somebody when he shouldn't have? He didn't get no trouble for it or nothing. Still has his job and everything else.
Oh, and
the lefties
his pension.
Yeah, looked at him like he's some kind of hero or something.
Dude, the cops standing at the doors into the Capitol.
Waving people in?
Holding the doors open. Holding the doors open.
And now we know 300 undercover FBI agents were there to help instigate it. Yeah.
What about the one guy that he's making the news a lot? They caught him saying something like, "We got to go into the Capitol." And then
Ray Epps.
Epps.
He never got in any trouble. Because he's FBI. Yeah, he's FBI or he's FBI, what do you call it?
The way they get around that,
Some kind of
dude,
plant,
is you're a
dude.
contractor. You're not an official FBI, but you're a
Well, whenever the FBI wants to do something, I think, and they don't want their hands on it, they get somebody else to do it for them. They'll pay you. They'll do anything to get you to do it, including pay you.
And it's, and I have to admit, man, I'm a little bit disappointed with Cash.
I'm disappointed with all of them.
I wanted to see FBI employees dragged out in front of the camera and put on trial, kind of like they're doing with Comey now. Trump dance.
Yeah. So here's the thing. Pam Bondi has nothing to do with having James Comey be arrested. A district attorney brought these charges against him.
Oh, I didn't know.
Or U.S. attorney or some Trump-appointed U.S. attorney did it, not Pam Bondi.
Do you think anything's going to happen?
Pam Bondi may take over from here or something, but she's not done anything. And here I am thinking, oh my God, Pam Bondi finally did something. And then I hear it wasn't even her that brought these charges against Comey. So she's worthless, man. I'm sorry, but everybody, all these MAGA people, they're all behind her because Trump likes her, and I think Trump made a big mistake with her.
Honestly, I wanted our intelligence agencies gutted. I wanted
Gone.
them gutted.
Burn them to the ground. Yeah.
Just
what good are they? What are they doing?
Because if you had gutted them, then people would spill the beans on each other. Look, I was told to do this.
Yeah.
And then you could get to the bottom of things. But Cash went in. He wanted to handle things internally. I'm like, no, you're never going to restore the faith of the common citizen that's not associated to the government.
James Comey single-handedly ruined the reputation of the FBI. And then Christopher Wray, the next guy, came in. He wasn't any better.
Yeah.
He's the guy that...
Who's the CIA guy? Brennan? He's another one.
Yeah, those guys, yeah.
Now, didn't all of those, Brennan, Wray, didn't they get pardoned? Did they get a get out of jail free card from?
I don't know, probably.
Biden?
But it may have been an auto pen thing, so I don't know. I don't think James Comey got one, did he?
No.
You know, the statute of limitations is about to run out on James Comey by like 2 days.
Now there's something else I'm against. Why would government employees get a statute of limitations?
It's to protect themselves from all their corruption, bro. So what did James Comey do? He is the guy that invented the whole Russia collusion thing. So it was his coup. He led a coup against the president of the United States, Trump. Remember, he went in there, he sent 2 FBI agents in there to talk to Flynn to entrap him.
I wish
he leaked stuff to reporters to keep the story going, to get a special prosecutor against Trump. There was any evidence they had was made up. Hillary Clinton helped contribute to the fake evidence against Trump. You know,
Hillary Clinton, our Secretary of State, who the Democrats during her election campaign for president bragged that she was the most traveled, most experienced Secretary of State we've ever had, going to all these different countries, interacting with all these different leaders of foreign countries.
That was supposed to be
but
Biden's plus 2.
She destroyed all of her communications, which is supposed to be public domain.
And she had a server in her house so she could hide everything.
And nothing was ever done.
No. Now, they arrested Comey for this. They're charging him and all that, but they're going to have a trial over there in the D.C. area. And nothing's going to happen to this guy.
Right.
No, he really is a dirty cop that should probably spend the rest of his life in jail for what he did. He led the coup. You know what I mean? It was his idea. He leaked all this information. He was in charge.
He's definitely.
But who was he taking orders from? He didn't just do it on his own. He was in cahoots with Obama.
And who else?
Obama's the ringleader, I think. The most crooked people on the planet, the most deceitful fuckers out there, are never going to be held accountable.
When you hear deep state, what do you think? When you hear deep state or them or the deep state, who do you think of?
Well, did we have a deep state when Bush was in there? And Clinton and all that shit?
I look at
the deep state was born under Trump. So the head of the deep state is, all these people high up in the FBI, the CIA, Obama's in there, You could count Hillary Clinton in there with them. Who do you call the deep state? Not to mention, since Trump's been in there, how many embedded Democrats, lefties, Obama holdovers are still in the FBI and the CIA and everything? You're never ever gonna be able. That's why you have to burn it to the ground, like you said.
Remember Susan Rice?
She's another one.
She was one of the people that was instructing the social media companies to allow them access to hold things against people.
Mm-hmm.
And she was with Biden through it until the very end.
Mm-hmm.
When they get toward the end of their presidency, people got to separate to go with the next insiders. She was one of them. And when she left, I was like, yep, they're getting ready for their next candidate, whoever that might be.
Yeah.
That was the first thought that entered my mind.
Yeah.
And she was also, I believe she was so tight with Obama because I think she was a professor of his in college or something. And these are people that have a lot of power, and they're not in the public eye as much as the figurehead, the president or the politician.
Yeah.
And I really think when you talk deep state, you're talking about the DARPA people, the people that are manufacturing weapons. And my theory on the Ukraine and what's going on now is that we're in a race. I think we're in a race to be the first country or the first. He who incorporates AI into weapons wins. Remember when during Trump's first term when he said, we're never going to do a bill like this again. One of these mega bills. So much, we're never going to do. Remember when he said that? We're never going to do this again. Now, this administration, we got the big, beautiful bill.
Mm-hmm.
When he said specifically in his first term, we're never doing that again. The way I look at that is that we're in a race right now to incorporate AI into weapons, and whoever does that wins. If it's China, they win. If it's us, we win. That's kind of how I look at things. And I think that we're in a race against the clock now. And I think
I don't know. I'm not as concerned about AI as everybody. I think AI is so overblown. I think that. I mean, what's AI do?
Israel put drones through high-rise windows to kill scientists in their beds
using AI
and not kill the neighbor next door.
Maybe okay then.
It's some spooky stuff, man.
Well, I'm just saying, I use Grok on my phone to try to come up with.
That's the AI we can use.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, I tried to come up with make me a logo, and I said paint the Trump, and I did it like 5 or 6 times, and every time it would spell the THHE. It couldn't even do that. So I'm like, AI isn't nothing to worry about, man.
Dude, well, Meta just rolled out their new glasses. They have these AI glasses.
Mm-hmm.
They just rolled them out a couple days ago, and all this really phenomenal bells and whistles and shit. But what do you think that the intelligence agencies have access to?
Mm-hmm.
This is like the kindergarten level type technology that they're letting the dummies like you and I to have access to.
Yeah.
But it's kind of makes me wonder. I mean, the thing with the cell phones. The thing with the cell phones blowing up Hamas. I mean, that was years and years in the making.
I just want to say that I bet you Comey gets off, doesn't do any jail time, and if you can't arrest him and put him behind bars, you can't put anybody behind bars. Nobody gets in trouble for nothing.
Especially since, that was Kash Patel's big thing. Russiagate was his big thing.
They're not going to do nothing.
And if there's no prosecution there, I pretty much lose faith of us ever correcting corruption within our own government.
Mm-hmm.
But the whole world hinges on us right now. Look what's going on overseas with our best allies. They're lost.
Mm-hmm.
They're gone. If we can't clean up our own house, the world's going to crap pretty fast.
Yeah. Yeah, it's the end of times. All right, so this is episode whatever, section 1. And we're going to take a pause here and come back and do session 2. Sound good, John?
Sounds good.
All right, man. Peace. So